Welcome to the author instructions for KIJOMS, Kabbalah International Journal of Modern Science. I will guide you through how to submit a manuscript in our online editorial system EVICE, and therefore I will start by letting you know that KIJOMS is already live, and you will be able to find the journal's EVICE online submission system login webpage under this address over here. And the first thing you will need if you would like to submit a manuscript to the journal is that you will have to register yourself as an author in the EVICE side of KIJOMS. Now, what you will have to do for this is you will have to go to KIJOMS EVICE submission site, and which is this address over here, and then you will need to register yourself as an author for the journal. And you will need a your current email address, and then you can create an account in here. So you will have to enter your email address twice and then click on continue, and then you will be able to set up an account in EVICE for the journal, and then you will be able to submit a manuscript. Once you have created your account in EVICE, you will then be able to log in the online submission system, and this is how it's going to look like for you as an author view. Once you have logged in, you will be able to see the journal's banner image up here, and you will be able to start a new submission. I will guide you through this shortly. As KIJOMS is already live, I'm not going to submit a manuscript on the live website, and therefore I will do so on a training site, so where the settings are slightly different from the real website of KIJOMS. However, it will guide you through everything, and any changes in there you will be able to follow very easily. Okay, let's go to the EVICE login page of the training site, which is this one over here. And you can see I have already registered a dummy author for the journal. So I have registered them over here, and now I'm going to be able to log in as an author, which I will do so. And there you can actually see that this is a dummy editor journal, so we are not going to affect any websites. There are always some notifications up here. This is, for example, a welcoming notification for you. I'm just going to close this now so that we have more space for us to see. And as you can see over here, this big red banner indicates that this is a training site and this is not a real website. So, and down here you can see that we've already, because it's a training site, we've already used that website a couple of times. So you will not have any submissions unless you have already submitted a manuscript. Now we're going to start a new submission as an author by clicking on this button over here. And then you will be able to enter some manuscript information. You will always have to choose an article type, and I'm just going to choose the original research article. For KIJOMS, it will be a research paper which you can submit. And just in general, any field which is marked by a red asterisk, over here, for example, is mandatory. So this will be slightly different in KIJOMS, but everything which is marked by this red asterisk you will need to fill out, otherwise you won't be able to proceed. Now I'm going to provide a full title, and it's going to be the second one I do for this training site. In the training site, you will also have to provide a short title and an abstract, some keywords, and some references as well. Any information is really given over here, any examples, for example. So if you read through the guidelines, it should actually be very self-explanatory. Over here you can add the corresponding author. The corresponding author is always the one who submits the manuscript, and you can add any co-authors over here as well through add authors. So if there are any co-authors you're working with, you can list them all here and they will then be added to the author list. If you have provided all the information, you just save and continue. And then you're going to be brought to the site where you upload files. There are some file types which are mandatory, and for KIJOMS you will definitely have to provide a manuscript, and you will do so by clicking on Upload Files. You will have to choose a file, and this is usually from your desktop. I have some template files over here, a manuscript. Open it. It's then going to be uploaded, and you can see the status that it is uploaded. If anything goes wrong, it will indicate it over here in the status, and then you might have to delete the file which has failed to upload, and then you will have to upload the file again. That might sometimes happen. If you can also you can always see that in the status over here. Then you will have to select a file type, and you can see over here for our test site the mandatory file types are the manuscript, the figure, the table, and there are some other file types which aren't mandatory, but I'm just going to choose the mandatory manuscript now. You can add a description of the file type as well if you like to, and I'm just going to upload some more files now because, as you remember, I will still need a figure and a table, even though this doesn't really fit now, the conflict of interest as a figure, but it will do for our example. And I'm going to use this one as well. And there we can see, so the table is mandatory as well in the training site, and now I have uploaded all of them successfully, and I can save and continue. So you can really upload any kind of file type you like, and then add a file type and a description next to it, and they will be all merged together in a PDF at the end, and this is the so-called submission PDF, which the editors of the journal then receive. So we're going to save and continue now, and in the training site you will have to select a section as well that is sometimes available for different journals. You can also suggest reviewers, and for KIJOMS this is actually mandatory, and you can do so by adding a reviewer, and you will have to provide a title. And I know we have a dummy user, for example, who is a reviewer in all of our EVICE journals, but you can really add anyone you like. You will have to provide the title, the first name, last name, and email address. You can also provide an institution they are working at, a country, and a reason why you actually suggest them. I'm just going to use any kind of email address now. It needs to be a valid email address, obviously. And then you can save the reviewer, and the editors will then be able to see those reviewers upon the receipt of your submission. You can also provide opposing reviewers, someone you might not want to review your manuscript. It would therefore then be good if you provide a reason why you don't want them to review your manuscript. You will also have to provide additional information in this regard over here. This is publishing open access. This won't apply to KIJOMS, but there might be some other information you will have to provide, and then you will be asked to, for example, copy some responses over here and then paste them into the box below. And once you have done so, you will then save and continue. Then our EVI system will create a submission PDF, what I have mentioned earlier. So all the files you have uploaded will be merged into a PDF, and you will always have to download the PDF and view it. Otherwise, you will not be able to proceed with the submission or complete your submission. And you can see this is the file which I have created with the template files. So I have viewed it now as an author, and I will have to confirm that I have reviewed the PDF of the submission and approve it for consideration by the journal. I will need to tick the box over here, and you will also have to confirm that you have read and adhered to the ethics and publishing guidelines, which you will be able to access via this link. If all of this is completed, you will then be able, if you're happy with it, to complete your submission. Once you have done so, you can either use this link to go back to your home page, or you click on Home over here on the left-hand side, and then you can actually see your new submission is going to be listed. You can also always go back to it if you click on the title, and you can see the current status, then the status date, and when you have initially submitted it. In this table over here, you will see once the journal has received the manuscript and, for example, the editors have invited some reviewers, you will be able to see the status change in your account as an author. So it will then say, for example, under review, and the status date will change to the date when the editor has, for example, invited reviewers. Once the whole review process has been completed by the editors will decide whether your manuscript is going to be published or not, so whether it's going to be accepted or rejected, or whether they ask you to revise the manuscript. You will always be notified by any of those decisions via email, so you don't have to worry. You don't always have to log into your account with EVIs with the journal. However, you will always be able to see any status changes in your account as well, but you will definitely receive an email. Okay, so those were basically the submission steps I wanted to show to you. I'm probably going back to the slide I showed you in the very beginning, where you can see again the actual online submission web address from KIJOMS, and I wish you all the success when you submit your manuscript. Should you have any questions, feel free to email the journal, and I hope that yes, you enjoy your work as an author for the journal, and I wish you all the best. Thank you very much.